I have something awesome to show you, something that I am really excited about, something that I have been waiting, most of my life, blah, 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 a long time for. And that is this right here. You see, starting yesterday, I'm taking violin lessons. Violin is an instrument that I've wanted to play a long time. My parents may disagree with this or may not remember, but at least the way I remember it is I've always wanted to learn how to play the violin and the piano, which is kind of seen back there, but I don't really know how to play that yet. Instead, I ended up playing clarinet, and I don't really know how that happened because I recall never being appealed by. And I'm not really sure how that happened because I never recall being drawn to the clarinet. It always was kind of a bit of a squeaky instrument that I saw no purpose in learning how to play. But anyway, I played that for about a year and a half before I was able to weasel my way out of it. And when I say I played for a year and a half, I mean I showed up to classes for it once a week for a year and a half and practiced, maybe 2 hours total during that period outside of class. And so I stunk. And I haven't touched a musical instrument ever since then. Largely because I've always been told I am not good at music. I remember in one of the Christmas plays that we put on every year that I was singled out as far as I recall, the only student that was actively asked not to sing during our performance. I was just told to lip sync because, I stunk. And I still do. I can't sing. Why the violin? Why the piano? I really don't know. I do know that lately I've taken up watching Two Set Violin, lately as in the past year or so, and I've just kind of loved their passion behind the violin, and that kind of reignited an interest in learning the violin. I still would like to learn how to play the piano someday, and I also want to learn a Chinese instrument called the pipa. We'll get into that in a separate video. I have one across there. Okay, so out of these three instruments, the violin, the piano, and the pipa, why start with the violin? Everyone I talk to says start with the piano. It covers the entire Western music scale and it gives you a great understanding of musical theory. Well, I could have done that, but I wanted the violin because it was a little bit more challenging. I actually felt intimidated by the violin. I mean, what is this? There are no frets. How am I going to know how to make the right note? I have to do it by ear. I don't have a good musical ear. So that's why I chose the violin over the piano. Why not the pipa? Well, that came down to practicality. The pipa is also notoriously hard to learn how to play, but I thought it'd be better to start with an in-person instructor, which I was able to find for the violin and not for the obscure Chinese instrument that no one in Cuba, New York has heard of before. Go figure. I've had this violin in my hands now and have been practicing with it for the past 8 days, and I had my first lesson yesterday, which went great. So unfortunately, I don't have a recording of me playing day 1, which I'm sure would have been amusing, but I hope, day 8 is good enough when I look back on how I progressed throughout this year. My plan right now is to do a half-an-hour dedicated violin lesson every single day except for Thursdays, which are my actual practice day. So if I can't do an additional 30 minutes practice that day, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, it is at least 30 minutes every single day for the next year. So let's get into it and see how absolutely horrible I am. Right now, I am just practicing open strings. Do you see that? That's a curved pinky. I know I'm supposed to curve the pinky. I hope that's the correct way of curving the pinky. A bit squeaky, but hey, this is kind of fun. Need to flip the page. And so the book that I am using at the request, at the mandate, at the choice of my instructor, is All for Strings, Comprehensive String Method Book 1 by Gerald E. Anderson and Robert S. Frost. There's also a theory book to go along with it. But of course, I am looking at a whole bunch of YouTube videos and following along those just to kind of practice on focusing on techniques and things like that. Right now, from the get-go, I would like to try and build the best habits and techniques for actual posture, as well as bow hold and mechanics. One reason why the posture is so important to me is because I have, for the past 10 years, had massive neck pains that result in headaches. I usually get these every 2 to 3 weeks, and they last anywhere from 36 to 48 hours at a time. And they're usually caused by poor posture at the desk. Seem to do bad there on that bottom half of the string. It's good. I think I was adding too much pressure as I get closer to the frog. Now, my instructor asked me to practice standing up, which I will be following her instruction in that. I will be doing that. I didn't have a position set for the camera yet today, so once the spot in the office is cleared for that, next video will be me standing up. Okay, there's something you need to know about me, and that is when I do something, I like to do it with full gusto, full energy. I like to dive fully into something and leave myself little breathing room. Basically push myself to the max, and that's why I'm saying I'm practicing at least half an hour every single day. Now, half an hour may not seem like much, but everyone has told me just start with 10 to 15 minutes, and when I say at least 30 minutes, I mean at least 30 minutes. I'm actually personally hoping to do closer to an hour once I get the basics down, as well as just the comfort. One thing that scares me though is what happens if I break these bowstrings, because my biggest problem is when I hit a day, when I hit a crash, I hate that lost momentum. And so I'm thinking that I need to get a second bow just in case that happens so I won't break my half an hour a day streak. I should probably do that sooner rather than later. I'm really curious how this sound turns out for this, to know if, because right now the shotgun mic is right up here. I'm wondering if I should get my desk podcasting mic like really close, or if this will turn out good. I hope this turns out good. And unlike my book, which right now just has the note letters, this is actually on the note staff, which I am familiar with and understand reasonably well if I take the time to look at it. Sight reading, though, takes time. So that's a D and an A, and that's all that this particular song uses. Let's go real slow through this. I'm noticing that as I'm doing this, my mouth is open. I mean, not my lips, but my teeth, my jaw is open, but it's clenched and tight. So kind of, I'm sitting here like this with my lips closed, which is putting a lot of pressure and stress here. And so I need to relax that. Otherwise, that is definitely going to cause a lot of neck pains. I think I need a higher shoulder rest, because as I'm doing that, yeah, I think I'm doing that so that I can press down on my jaw to hold, and I think this is at the maximum size now, so I probably need to get a higher shoulder rest. Let me see if I have a cloth I can put here. I stole a baby blanket from Grogu. Now, I don't know if this is a reasonable goal or not, but I have set myself a goal of playing Silent Night by Christmas Eve. And like I said, I don't know if this is a reasonable goal or not. I don't know what Silent Night sounds like on violin or how complicated that song is, but that is my goal, and so that is what I'm going to be striving towards. As of now, it is September 17th, and so that means I have September, October, November, December, 3 months to get to playing Silent Night. Let's see how that goes. Otherwise, Thank you for joining me. Till next time. Bye.